We talk to it like it's a person. It writes poetry, it debugs code, it can even debate philosophy with you. But here's the crazy part. All of this incredible mind-bending ability comes from just one single function: statistical prediction. So how on earth does it pull off this incredible trick? Well, let's peel back the curtain and take a look inside.
You probably use this thing all the time. But have you ever stopped to wonder what's really going on behind that chat window when you hit send? Let's follow your words on their amazing journey, right into the mind of the machine.
Okay, so it all kicks off the very moment you send a message. And everything that happens from here on out, it all takes place inside the AI's temporary and, believe it or not, pretty limited working memory.
This is where we meet the first big concept, the context window. The best way to picture it is like a little notepad. Every time you chat, the whole conversation, your prompt, its last answer, all of it gets jotted down on this notepad. And here's the kicker. Before it can write a single new word, the AI has to reread that entire notepad from the very first word, every single time.
But that notepad has a fixed size. And this is a huge deal, because if your conversation gets too long and runs out of space, the AI doesn't, summarize the old stuff. Nope, it just erases the earliest parts of the chat to make room. This is exactly why it can seem to forget what you talked about 10 minutes ago. It literally ran out of paper. So, the AI has your prompt on its notepad, but there's a problem. It doesn't understand English, or any human language for that matter. So the next step is to translate our words into a mathematical format that it can actually work with. This whole process starts with something called tokenization. Honestly, just think of it like taking your sentence and smashing it into digital Lego bricks. Some of these bricks are whole words, like the, and others might just be parts of words or even a single comma. These tokens, these are the fundamental building blocks the machine actually sees. Okay, so once it has these Lego bricks, it has to give them meaning. That's where embeddings come in. Each and every token gets turned into a set of coordinates, which places it on this huge invisible map of ideas. Now, on this map, words like king and queen are super close together, while concepts like, say, cat and democracy are miles apart. This is how the AI starts to get a feel for how different ideas relate to each other. All right, our words have been translated into this language of numbers and coordinates. Now, we get to the really cool part. We are now entering the core of the model, the transformer architecture. This is where the real thinking actually begins.
Picture the transformer as this incredibly sophisticated assembly line with dozens of layers. When your prompt goes in at the beginning, the first few layers are just looking at basic stuff like grammar. Then, as it moves down the line, the middle layers start connecting ideas and spotting relationships across your entire prompt. By the time it reaches the end, the top layers are piecing together complex arguments and understanding nuance.
Now, the secret sauce that makes each of these layers work is a mechanism called self-attention. Imagine it's like a powerful spotlight. For every single word in your prompt, that spotlight scans the entire text and shines a light on all the other words that are relevant to it, weighing how important each one is. And it does this for every word all at the same time. It's wild.
Let's see this in action. It'll make perfect sense. Take the sentence. The car couldn't cross the road because it was too wide. Now, what does it refer to? The car or the road? For us, that's easy. For an AI, it could be confusing. But that self-attention spotlight instantly connects it with road and wide, and just like that, the ambiguity is gone. So, we've seen how the AI reads and processes our words, but how does it actually generate a response? Well, the answer is both way simpler than you'd think, and also kind of profound.
At its very heart, ChatGPT is just a phenomenally powerful autocomplete. That's it. It's not sitting there reasoning or deliberating like a person. It's just making an incredibly educated guess about what word should come next, based on pretty much everything humans have ever written on the internet.
This process is called next token prediction. After analyzing your entire prompt, the model looks at all the billions of possible Lego bricks it knows and calculates the probability for each one. Then it just picks the one that's most statistically likely, adds it to the sentence, and then does the whole thing over again for the next word and the next until it's done.
And this is the absolute key difference here. When we reason, we use logic. We have conscious thought. The AI doesn't do that at all. It is simply matching incredibly complex statistical patterns that it learned from seeing trillions of examples of human text. It's not thinking. It's reflecting the patterns of human thought back at us.
Okay, but wait a second. If it's just a pattern matcher, why does it sometimes just confidently lie or, make things up? Well,
this super common problem actually gets right back to its fundamental design.
These are called hallucinations, and they happen because the AI is optimized to always give you the most plausible sounding answer. It's basically been trained to be a confident, articulate guesser. Admitting "I don't know" is often statistically less likely than just generating a perfectly fluent but totally made-up answer.
A raw prediction engine like this is an amazing tool, but it also blindly parrots all the biases and garbage from its training data. That is why there is one last, absolutely critical step in the process: adding a set of human-guided guardrails to help shape its behavior.
This is done through a process with a very long name: Reinforcement Learning from Human Feedback, or RLHF for short. Basically, a whole bunch of human reviewers look at the AI's answers and rate them. All of that data is then used to train a separate reward model, which acts like a conscience or a guide, teaching the main AI to favor answers that we humans would find helpful and safe. This training is all about instilling what's known as the HHH principle. Through thousands and thousands of these human-guided examples, the AI learns that it should favor responses that are 1, helpful, it actually tries to answer your question; 2, honest, it tries to be factual; and 3, harmless, it avoids toxic or unethical stuff. But, and this is a really important but, this sense of safety isn't some hard-coded law in its programming. It's just another statistical pattern, a strong preference the model has learned. And what that means is, it's not unbreakable. It's a layer of guidance that can sometimes be tricked or bypassed.
So, after this entire journey, from that little notepad to tokens, through all those layers of attention, and out through a predictive filter, what have we really learned? What is ChatGPT at its core?
I think the best way to put it is this: ChatGPT isn't a mind, it's a mirror. It's an unbelievably sophisticated mirror that's reflecting the collective knowledge, the language, and the thought patterns of all of humanity. It reflects things like consciousness and intent so brilliantly that it feels real, but it doesn't actually possess them itself. It's a powerful mimic, a true marvel of pattern matching. But what happens when this mirror is given eyes to see the world and hands to act in it? Well, that's a story we'll explore next time.